Now we want to turn to our two guests, one of them new. Thank you so much for joining us. We're talking about Attorney General Kwame Raoul and our longtime contributor now. Can we say that?
Sure.
Former Mayor Lightfoot.
We've been through the war together, yes.
Haven't we? All right. All right, I want to start with you, Attorney General. So we're on the final night. Yep. And from your vantage point, being here with the energy, what are your thoughts of what needs to happen tonight to send that message not just to the delegates, but for all those undecided, independent? In those videos, they've had people who were former supporters of Trump who are now trying to make a big decision. What needs to happen tonight?
Well, I think we've seen some of it happen already. There's a clear contrast between the two candidates, notwithstanding misinformation, mischaracterization. We have a candidate who has been a prosecutor on a local level, a state attorney general, and we have somebody who's done the opposite, violate the rule of law, whether it's civil violations or now he's a convicted felon.
Mayor, let's ask you about something we've talked about earlier in the evening, and it has to do with the security protocol around this event.
Yes.
There are going to be people in neighborhoods who feel like, why is all of this attention being paid to these neighborhoods while this is happening, but not every day of the week? And I guess my question would be, that's question one. Is number two, do you think CPD and the mayor have learned something through this, through their resources and how they've used them to maybe help proceed with a better strategy to fight crime?
Well, look, I think Walter Burnett, and I'm going to borrow from what he said earlier in the week, he works hard every single day to make sure that his residents are heard, to make sure that their needs are taken care of. So I think he's said things are fairly calm and he's not hearing a lot. And I think the way that this has been staged with advance warning and notification to the residents has really helped them understand what was happening. No neighborhood, I don't care where you are, wants something of this magnitude with street closures and all these new people coming in to be sprung on them. This has been a conversation that's been a year plus in the making. And I, again, have to credit Alderman Walter Burnett, whose ward we sit in, for really doing what's necessary to let his residents know and give them advance warning. So I think that has helped a lot. You know, and when I look at what CPD has done this week, I think that they have learned the lessons from the summer of 2020. We hadn't had those kinds of massive protests all over the city, maybe ever. But certainly not since 1968, not since the riots, but even then, it was primarily localized on the west side. What we experienced in the summer of 2020 was everywhere, every day, for weeks. So if you don't learn lessons, of course they have. New training, new protocols, making sure that everybody's got body cameras on and those things. So you're seeing the lessons of the summer of 2020 play out in what's happening on the streets today.
I have a question for both of you along the lines of safety. So we were talking about Superintendent Snelling and how he's not just sitting back in the offices, he's right there on the front lines making the arrests, and it seems to send a message to the rank and file is what we were hearing before. But also going forward, is there more visibility that could be done not just during the DNC for him, perhaps, that would give residents more confidence that, you know, they are being considered?
Well, I can tell you from my own perspective, Superintendent Snelling has been an incredible partner. He cares about the morale of the officers, but he has the benefit of having trained many of those officers. So he's a national expert on use of force, and we've engaged with the Chicago Police Department in preparation for this to make sure that their approaches were constitutional. And the important thing that I want to raise about public safety and bringing Kamala Harris to the point where we can call her Madam President is part of the effectiveness of the police force today is not just Chicago police. It's the collaboration with Homeland Security, with Secret Service and state police, and we have to be force multiplying. It has to be one team concept and collaboration, not only during DNC, and it doesn't happen only during DNC. I can tell you for sure the Attorney General's office collaborates with all of these agencies, federal, state, and local.
Okay. Mayor?
Well, and I'll give credit again to the Attorney General. The work that you did in really setting up a task force, particularly on retail theft, as we were seeing those challenges over the summer of 2020, that work and that collaboration has really paid dividends to the city of Chicago for sure and the surrounding area. But you've got to have that collaboration. You've got to have leadership. The Attorney General has really shown that leadership that's made concrete differences in the lives of residents and business owners here in our city.
Can I just quickly, Kwame, get you on the work you've done to try to attack this problem of retail theft? I know that's something you're proud of.
Yeah, so again, and thank you, Mayor. It's about collaboration. We collaborate with U.S. Secret Service on some of that. We collaborate with Homeland Security and the FBI on some of that. Certainly, the Cook County Sheriff's Office, if you've seen their presence
on Michigan Avenue,
Avenue and River North generally, it's all about collaboration. Leo Schmitz, who was the chief of police for the Cook County Sheriff, he and I are talking every week. And there's a collaboration.
So one more question, and this, if in the midst of talk about whether Governor J.B. Pritzker is going to run for a third term. Oh, what's this?
He knows it's
what's
coming.
This look over here?
We ask everyone.
Yes. So would you ever want to be in that office? Could you see yourself running for governor, even mayor?
Let me tell you, today is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday, and on Friday I'm going to be Attorney General and I'm going to be focused on the
How about
responsibility.
2 years from now?
I've always said that if there's an opportunity to do something in the future, the best way to put yourself in a position to do it is do the job that you're in currently, and that being Attorney General is a heck of a job. It's the best job I had in my life. If you ask Bill Clinton, who spoke, was that yesterday? I might get my days confused. He always says the best job he ever had was Arkansas Attorney General. And he was the President of the United States.
We've had some very interesting answers to the questions this week.
We have. And expressions.
Thank you both very much. I know we'll be
you.
seeing you again soon,
Thank
Mayor.
you.